Hi everyone, welcome back to the Visual Builder Cloud Service online course. So in this lecture, we are going to cover one of the most important activity of action chain is called run in parallel. So run in parallel is one of the seeded activity in the action chain. This activity is available in the action chain, which will allow you to run multiple actions in parallel. So once you use this action, you can allow multiple actions to run in a parallel, like if you have a two backend service, one business object, and any other action chain you wanted to invoke in parallel, then this activity will be very helpful. And once you use this activity in the action chain, this will also enhance your performance. So where you need to use this action, where all the you have two different actions, or you have a different APIs which you need to call in parallel, and they don't have dependent with each other. So you can call all these activity in parallel, that will enhance your application performance as well. Let's suppose you are executing two two backend REST APIs, one API, second API in parallel, and the third business object, right? Once all these activity will be executed, at the end of each action, the result is merge. If you want to wait for the result and take action once everything is complete, we can use this action instead. So I will take you to the VBCS screen and will show you how to use this activity and how useful it is. So for this, I will go to the VBCS screen where I will show you all these things. So I will extend the same application, and here first I'm going to use a API called this REST API, which gives me the country list. So I will create a service connection from this API. First of all, create a service connection defined by endpoint, and then method is a get, and then action hit is a get many, because it will provide a lot of results. Click on a test and then send. Don't forget to click on a save as example response, which will create a schema inbuilt, and then create. Okay, now this has been added. Now I wanted to call another API which will give me the result basis on the country name. So I will add the endpoint in the same server. Here you see, when you define the REST service connection, the server will be added with the base URL like https://countries.eu/rest v2, and then you can add more endpoints in the same server. Add endpoint, and here I'll just give this particular URL, and here this is my path parameter. So I'll say country COU and country name. Okay, that will produce a single result. Hence I will click get many, and then click on a test, click on a URI parameter, and here you say India, send. Okay, click on a save as example response, and then add. Okay, now what I want, I will create a flow where I will show you how to use this run in parallel action. I'll say run in, and then click on a create button. So first of all, what I will do is, so here I will call two things. One is a service backend API, which we have configured here, and then another I will call these two business objects. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, first, okay, on this flow, here I am on this particular flow, and I will click a VB enter, and then click on an event listener. So VB enter, and then select, and here I will create a flow action chain like load data, and then select load data, and then load data. Okay, now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to create few variables and then types on the flow level. Click types, and then click type, and then from endpoint. business objects. So first I will create basis on the department business object, this thing, and then next. And here I will say the ID, department, and then department name, and then finish. Similarly, I will create another type based on the business object, employee, and then employee ID. Next. Here I will choose a ID, last name, and then age, and then first name, and then finish. I will create another from my service connection, which is based on the country name, and then next. And here I will only take like the capital. I will take only few fields. Capital I can take flag, I can take name, I can take numeric code, the native name. Okay, and then finish. Now I will create the three ADP variable which will hold the data from all these business object and then service connection. So first of all, I will create a department ADP which will be based on the array data provider. I will click create and new. Okay, cancel, maybe some refresh issue. Let's refresh it. Okay, not department ADP, and here I will say array data provider. Again, I will create and new. This has been created. I will say employee ADP. This is again on the ADP. Again, create new, and then country ADP, and then create. Country ADP will have this item type like get country name, and will have, you can say, name. Similarly, department ADP, I will bind with get department, and I will select this as a ID, and employee ADP will be selected as get employee, and then IT. Makes sense. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to use this action chain, and here first I will show you how to call the all these things one by one. So first I will call the REST endpoint, and then we'll show you how beneficial the then in parallel activity will be useful. So first I will call all these things one by one. So first I will call my first endpoint, select endpoint, and here I will call this country one, and then select. Okay, and then I will call another business object API on the success path. Just drop another call REST endpoint, then select, and here what I will do, I will call my this thing department one, and then select. Similarly, on this happy path, I will call another endpoint here, and here I will say business object employee, and then select. Okay, now I am calling all these three APIs one by one, right? This is in sequential. So after this, I will use this assign, and then click on a assign, and then we'll assign the data into respective ADPs. Call REST endpoint is the country ADP, so better to give the name so that we can know. So this is for my country one, country. Okay, and then this is for your department, and the next is one for your employee. Makes sense. Now click on a assign, and then click on a assign. Let's try to assign one by one. Here you say you now you get to know that this recall REST endpoint for the country. So just expand this body, and then country ADP, assign this body to data. Similarly, department ADP will be taken for this department, and then under body you select this item. Okay, and similarly for employee ADP, just take this one, item to data. Make sense? And then save. Now what will happen once this flow will be executed, it will call all these three endpoints one by one. So go to the page now here, and then try to put some table and then you select one choice. Okay, so go to the design mode here, and I just put select one choice which will hold the department here. I'll say department. Okay, and here I will choose data, and then from here I will choose my department ADP, and from all I will go here, option keys. In the label I will choose department name because I wanted to show department name as a label, and here I'll say department. If you click live, you will see here. Makes sense. Now I will drop a table here which will have the binding with my ADP. The ADP will be my employee ADP here, and whatever field I wanted to select, I can select it from here, like ID, first name, last name, and then age. Makes sense. Okay, so here I'll say horizontal rule here, which will just simply bifurcate table, and then just push another table here, and then again go to the data section and then bind this table with my another country ADP, and here just select whatever fields you wanted to show. I'll say capital, name, native name, and then numeric code. Makes sense. Now let's try to preview this application and we'll show you. So before I do this, I have to change the default flow under this settings section, and then run in parallel. Makes sense. Now just preview this application and then open the console by selecting the F12. Go to the network here and let the things to be loaded. What happened? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now the data has been loaded, and here you see the all, right? Let me just, all you see, this is executing after one another, right? Here you see, let me just do here little bit. Now you can see this is the for my all API started at 16.62 seconds, and then this started at 16.68 seconds. You can see above here, and then this started after this one. You can see here like this 16.68. Now what is happening? It's taking couple of times to load the data because I am loading the data in a assign variable and then showing it here. What I wanted to call all these old department and then employee in a at a single time. So it will show you this parallel activity here when I will change the approach. So for this, go here. Now if it is taking 1 second to call all these three, then it will take half second. So it will increase the performance as well. Now click on this run in parallel and then go to the action chain, and here we have one activity that is called my run in parallel. Just drop it here. Once you do this, here you can see you can add an action here, and then after we have a join. So what you can do, you simply just drag here all the branches will go in a single first of all, and then it will allow you to add another action in a parallel. So you just drop it over here. Okay, and then simply you can drop this here. Now here you see three parallel lines has been created. One, this for country, another for my department, and this for my employee, right? And here if you wanted to add more action, you can just simply drag and drop here like this. Okay, another parallel activity will be created. Now this is the assign variable, and what will happen after all these activities will be completed, they will be joined here. So I will just drag here and then will drop it over here. Okay, join. So all these three will be executed in parallel, and after all these things will be executed, the assign variable will be executed and will assign the data from all these things. Now just again run this application and you will see now. Here, let me just open it now. Okay, better to have this here. Okay, hold on. Okay, here you can see all these three: employee, department, and then all. This employee is to get the employee data, and you can see just over it. Okay, here you can see started at 3.5 minutes. Similarly, if you click here for the employee also, you can see not this one. Okay, yeah, the department also. Here you can see all are in the same line. This thing, employee, this thing. 16.68 seconds. Okay, let me just try to run it again. Let me just first clear this console and we'll show you again. Okay, I'm just capturing now. Yeah, employee, 80 second, 80 second, and then all is also in 80 second. You can see 800 second. Department is also started at 800 seconds, and then employee is also started at 800 seconds. Now, after all these will be completed, then the result will be merged and will assign the data into the respective variable, and data will be visible here. So this is how you can use run in parallel activity to execute multiple actions in parallel that will enhance your application performance too. That's all for this lecture. If you have any question, let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.